On this week's episode of The Joshua Mentality, our conversation is a nice blend of leadership and life purpose as we talk about the art of honoring. You're listening to The Joshua Mentality. Welcome back to another episode of The Joshua Mentality. If you're new here, this is the podcast where we discuss life purpose. In fact, this is the Mentality of Success series, which means we're covering 4 critical areas of success that will help you live a fulfilling life and maximize your life purpose. As always, I am Joshua, your wonderful host on this wonderful hump day, and I'll be with you here and beyond because this is week 41. It's amazing that we've already had more than 10 weeks pass in this year. I told y'all this was going to go quickly. We started at 52. We're already at 41. And when I get into the 30s, some of y'all are really going to start to get nervous. But listen, again, as I always remind you all, you know this is our sense of urgency check, right? We got 41 weeks left in this year. You got this. What are we going to do with these 41 weeks? I don't know what the plan was for you at the beginning of the year, but my hope is by kind of reminding you every week that it creates a sense of urgency or reminds you of what you set out to do, man. That's sometimes we just need someone to remind us what the window's looking like of time, because I know it's cliche to say this, but tomorrow is not promised. It definitely is not. So tomorrow is a day that we have not seen yet. So we got to maximize today, all right? So week 41, look, I'm already getting off to a start here. That's not even the topic for today. But this week's topic, while we're in the, I'm not even 2 minutes into this show and I'm already trying to go off on a tangent. But this week's topic is actually a result of some questions that kind of came through. And I want to give a shout out to those of you who are using the chat line. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the chat line, let me give that number to you. It's 407-476-6045. Again, that's 407-476-6045. And I like to use this to get some feedback from you all as listeners to, number one, if you got a topic that you would love to hear about or hear covered here in regards to life purpose or any of the things we've talked about, send that in. Send that in. I want to know what you all are thinking. What are kind of some of your heartburn issues, or if we were sitting together having a conversation, what topic would you want to talk about? That's really important to me. So that's one way you can use the chat. You can also use it to just send in any feedback of how it's benefiting you, any wins or stories that you think would be encouraging, just that were a result of something maybe you heard on here. That might, to me, that seems very unlikely to me, but I've heard stories of people who have tuned in and are actually getting some things out of this podcast that are really benefiting their lives. And I appreciate that nod of encouragement. It's why I keep showing up every week. All right. So I think that covers kind of some of the things, the pleasantries I wanted to get into to start off this episode before we jump into our topic for this week. And that topic is around the subject of honor. Honor. Have we lost the art of honor? In fact, I like this first question. It says, if our life purpose is valuable, then that must mean we are all valuable. If that's true, then why is it so hard for people to honor one another? Woo! Why is it so hard? If Joshua is sitting here telling you every week that your life has purpose, that you are valuable, that you are a golden iceberg, that you've only kind of, touched the surface level of your purpose, and that we all kind of carry that, then why is it so hard to honor each other? If we're that valuable, you may have at the beginning of this wondered, how does this relate to life purpose? And I think it's spot on, because if our life has purpose, that means we're valuable, which means it's worth honoring. But to this question's point, then why is it so hard? Why do we look around our society And it seems like there's so much division. There's so much just kind of these divisive conversations and yelling and screaming across lines if we're all valuable. And I think it's a question worth exploring. In fact, it reminds me of I used to do trainings around customer service, and I'll never forget one of the examples that I would use was this subject of honor, and the idea of why do we honor? Well, what's the point? Is it necessary? And I think the initial answer to this question is the reason why it's so hard for us to honor one another is because our paradigm, our mentality around the art of honor is that we only honor those who deserve to be honored. Like, if you really were to ask people, like, yo, why aren't we honoring that person? You would probably hear, well, they're not honoring me. Why should I honor them? Right? Or that person doesn't deserve to be honored. Look what they did. Or look what they didn't do. Or look who they are, or look who they are not. Like, our sense of honor has so many different stipulations and strings attached to it that at the end of the day, it really isn't honor. It's really this transactional, like, acknowledgement or acceptance. If you really think about it. And going back to my story about training on customer service, I used to always ask the group this question. I would ask them, doesn't it really really upset you or bother you when you ever got to the door of an establishment and you want to do the gentleman thing, the chivalry thing of opening the door for somebody behind you and letting them go in front of you, right? Like, that's a honorable thing to do, a polite thing to do. And as a country boy myself, we are brought up with manners. So I would approve of that action. But doesn't it, and this is what I would ask them, doesn't it really bother you when that person doesn't even give you the courtesy to say thank you? Like, dude, I just opened the door for you and you really gonna walk by like you are unaware that I sat here and held this door for you. It wasn't for my health. I could have just walked in and went on about my business. But here I am opening the door for you. And you won't even do me the courtesy of saying thank you. And so at this point, I'd ask them, why is that? Why do you all have a problem with that? And boy, they would get on that soapbox. And so you'd hear responses like, because that's rude, it's ungrateful. Again, you took the time. People should at least say thank you. I can't stand it. All of the works, you know what comes with the soapbox. And from there, I would segue, though, to my reasoning for asking them that question. And it's really simple. It's, what if I didn't open the door for them, though? What if my reasoning for opening the door has really little to do with them? And all to do with the fact that I'm a country boy from South Florida, born and raised, and my grandmother taught me this is who we are. We open doors. And so when I open a door, it's more about who I am versus who that person is. In other words, I honor them not because they deserve to be honored, but I honor them because that's a part of who I am. Get that difference. There's a distinct difference in mentality there. I don't honor you because you deserve it or because of who you are or because of what you've done or didn't do. I honor you because that's who I am. That's what I believe in. That's a value of mine. And the difference here is that it takes honor from being this transactional thing to being more of a value-based mentality. And that, I believe, is what's missing. And is the answer to this question of why it's so hard for us to honor. It's because many of us look at honor as a what am I getting out of it, or why should I? And the answer to that question is you should, if that is who you are. If that is who you are, you should do it no matter what. But Joshua, what if they did something I disagree with? Honor. But what if they don't honor me? Honor. You, no matter what the if is, if honor is a part of who you are, then you do it every time. We do it every time. Because for us, it's really more about working on our own character. It takes a strong man to say, you know what? Regardless of what anyone does, I'm sticking to these values. Like, that's what a leader is. Like, by you listening to this podcast, I'm pretty confident that you are a leader. And what leaders do is leaders honor. Leaders, I always tell people this. I've learned how to lead and how to follow and do both well, because that is the essence of a real leader. If you can't follow and honor somebody, then you can't lead people. Because honor is the prerequisite. Honor is the prerequisite to being able to lead someone, to lead people. It's what gives way. But it seems like, and I think this question points it out, it seems like we've gotten to a place where honor is just pretty much non-existent in many cases. You don't believe me? Get on your nearest social media app or platform and just go to the comment section and see how at the drop of a dime, just for someone sharing an opinion, honor goes out the window. And instead we choose, other tactics that are shameful and, dare I say, destructive. And I'm not getting on. This is not a soapbox, I promise you. This is a call to action, if anything. Because I know there are people listening to this episode who agree. And I'm imploring you to take the lead. Take the lead in demonstrating to people what honor looks like, that is rooted in who you are versus what you do. Honor that's rooted in who you are instead of what people deserve. Because we all know if we walked around giving people what they deserve, we'd be giving slaps and throat punches all day, right? Like that would be the story if it was based on what people deserve. But that's not what leaders are called to do. Leaders are called to lead with honor and to demonstrate that for those who watch and follow their influence. You may say, Joshua, I don't have any influence. You do. You have an assigned influence on your life. And how you honor that and honor others will determine a great deal of the success of those who are watching you. And there may be someone that comes to mind right now that, as I'm talking about this, that you haven't honored. And so my call to action extends to just in general, those as you go out your day, and maybe you are doing something, opening a door for someone, but think about why you're doing it. Is it for them, or is it because of who you are? Because here's the truth. We all honor something or someone, whether it's positive or negative. We all honor someone or someone. And here's the principle about honor. Honor grows. What we honor grows. If we honor the anger in our hearts, it grows. If I am someone that decides every day I want to honor a bottle of alcohol, then guess what? The desire for that grows. If I'm someone that honors strife and divisiveness and putting people down and quick to, tear someone down, and guess what grows in my life? This negativity grows in my heart. So it's really no option here, because what we all are honoring something or someone. But what I'm encouraging you to do, this call to action, is for you to do an assessment of who and what you're honoring in your life. Who's the lead in your life right now? Or leads with an S. Who are the leads in your life? And how are you honoring them? And let me tell you, there's some leads in your life that will be dead wrong, and sometimes they will screw it up. But that's the test of your inner character. That's the test of my inner character. Is when we have a situation where we know that person doesn't deserve our honor, but we give it anyways. Why? Because it's who we are. And it goes even deeper than that. Because here's what I'll tell you. If there's no one in your life that you truly honor, you are limiting your life purpose. I'll say it again. If there's no one in your life that you can say, you know what, I honor that person. And I do it well. And I do it because that's who I am, even when they don't deserve it. If there's no one in your life that you can say that about, you are limiting your life purpose. Why? Because we just talked about it. Honor, what you honor grows. Who you honor grows. It doesn't just grow the person, it grows you. It grows elements of your character that are sustaining foundational elements to being a good leader in our communities. And if you don't perfect that, if you don't focus on that, then you limit your own growth and potential. And as soon as adversity hits, you revert back to this transactional mind of what can you get? Why aren't you getting honor? Why should you give it? It's kind of that woe is me or why? And that's an immature leader. But here on this podcast, we're about growing and maturing great leaders and really maximizing your life purpose. But that begins with understanding and leading with honor. Because people don't get the honor they deserve. People get the honor that represents who you are. And I believe you're someone that's great. I believe you're someone that's highly valuable. And I believe that's why you will choose to honor people with the same heart. Honor. I think I've said it 300 times on this episode. But I think it's appropriate. Because we're at a time and at a crossroad in our society where the leaders who understand what true honor looks like are the ones that are going to rise to the top and lead our communities. They're the ones that are going to thrive in their businesses. They're the ones that's going to figure out what their life purpose is and what their identity is and define success for their lives. All from that little seed sprout of honor. And I think, in fact, I know if the men in our world would start doing more of this, it would transform communities. I hear all the time about I come from an underdeveloped community, so I know what it's like to see high, murder capital rates, or you see high crime rates, all those things that kind of take place in impoverished communities. But imagine if the men in those communities stood up and said, you know what, y'all, let's honor each other. Even if we don't agree. Like we can like go at it in a positive way, but at the end of the day, we honor one another. Imagine how that shifts. Imagine how that shifts our communities. And so if you're listening to this, my challenge to you this week, you got 2 more days left. Pay attention. Seek out moments to honor someone. Seek out moments to hold a door open for that ungrateful person. To serve, someone that may not even appreciate it. To stand up for someone who doesn't really have a voice, or the weak. Demonstrate honor. And then just step back and see what the results are. You'll look back and you'll have a group of people following you because they have been waiting for the honorable leader in you to step up and lead. You've been listening to the Joshua Mentality. I hope you found this to be valuable or valuable nugget for your week. Let's get out there and let's honor people, y'all. Men, let's get out there and let's honor and lift up our society by honoring people because of who we are. Who we are as men, strong, courageous, and courageous enough to honor, courageous enough to lead with honor. That's all for this week. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, tell a friend, invite someone to the podcast so we can all continue growing together. And I will see you next week, same time, same place, and same reminder that success is your destiny.